Hello, folks. Hello. I am delighted that you are here on my beautiful page, inviting you to come along to Your Beautiful Substack Magazine. I absolutely love delivering this course, and I really wanted to put it on for a second time because of how we've all been feeling in the world, both in the real world and online. And there is just a piece of beauty in curating a beautiful space where people feel safe. They know what's coming. They know what's going to arrive in their inbox. They know what to expect. And I just really wanted to connect with you on that. I've got a few examples here that I got really excited about. I've just been around the house curating a few different bits and bobs because the idea for this course came from the fact that the magazine industry is struggling. And for a long, long time, we have been reading more online than we do in print. So I find it a really interesting juxtaposition because I love print for all sorts of reasons. And I feel like the experience that I give my readers and my paid subscribers and members online is like print. So I have like striven to make it feel like a home, like inviting those people into my home. So on Creatively Conscious, it is a beach party. It's 24/7. It's chilled. You can go in the sea. You can get a cup of cacao. You can get a cocktail. You can do whatever you want. And I'm going to share really openly and honestly around the campfire. On Sparkle on Substack, it is an arts festival, the best arts festival you've ever been, one that you don't want to stay. You don't want to go away from. You want to stay for the entire weekend. So I feel like having those identities as I've been building those spaces has been really helpful for me to make sure that I'm still staying true to my word, right? Because our branding, our entire brand is us. It's a part of us. So to be really congruent in who we are as a person. Like I'm wearing a sparkly top today and it's like a random Saturday. I wasn't planning to do this video. I just felt really inspired, but it is part of who I am. Like I like to bring the sparkle. I am like that. And I feel like people build up an idea and a picture of how something feels by the way that we interact with them, both through words, video, audio, and Substack gives us that in the gallon ton. So yeah, I'm so excited to show you and walk you through a few different pieces that I've gathered. These are so random, honestly. So this one, I just think it is so gorgeous. And this one really inspires me because it's called A Year Unfolding. It's by a printmaker called Angela Harding. And I love that this has been like, obviously, if I was to see her prints, and I have seen some of them in real life, this would be a completely different experience. But to be able to pick up this book of a Saturday afternoon and just read a little few of our words through here, I know exactly what I'm going to be receiving. I know that I'm going to spot things that I haven't spotted before. I know that I'm going to fall in love with our imagery. And that's what this book is about for me. So there's an identity in that. And if she had a new book out in the world, I would buy it, right? So I don't know whether she's got a newsletter or not because I tend to really try and balance my time. And then there's a few magazines here. So there's this UK one called Home Style, which is like a budgety kind of ideasy home mag, bit glossy on the front. And then we've got Breathe magazine, my absolute favorite. I've read this for years and I'll buy myself like one a year of these. I've got so many of them. Sometimes I buy them for my mum and she passes them back to me. But I love the rich color palette in this magazine. I love that there's a formula. We get escape, we get creativity, we get stuff around, well, this one is inner strength. So we get a lot around well-being, but we also get a lot around soul work and that kind of like alignment of everything all in one, which I'm just massively into creativity and well-being, as you guys will well know. This one my husband found somewhere and brought back, which is, it's not something that I would usually read, but there's something nice about having something that is luxury. This is Cosmopolitan. And I love the colour. I love the purple colour here. So with this one, I think, you know, the reason that I do sort of go, oh, I'm not sure, is because it can be quite triggering. Like glossy magazines can be quite triggering and can trigger our comparisonitis or make we feel that we're not good enough, all that sort of stuff, or we can't afford the things, like whatever it is. But I just thought that they were really interesting examples. And then a beautiful book. It's called Edible and Medicinal Wild Plants of Britain and Ireland. I have no idea where this book came from. It doesn't even look like anybody has opened it, but I love that it is in the house. So I thought I'd just show you that one. And then on the way up the stairs, I noticed Emma Ganner's A Success Myth. So I read the spine of this book every other time I come up the stairs because there's something about reading this book and being connected to Emma's work on Substack that has given me that permission slip to understand what it's been like for her to be, you know, Sunday Times bestselling author, really successful podcast, all of the gorgeous stuff that she's had, like amazing speaking opportunities, and to know that she still chooses to spend her time writing on Substack and she has a multi-six-figure Substack. She's amazing. The book's amazing. It's a must read if you've not read it and you feel like you are striving. So if there's any striving, like we all like cute and quirky goals, don't we? And we all like to achieve things and celebrate things, but the book really goes into that space of if you found yourself striving and it kind of it just defragmentates all that, defragmentates whatever I mean. I'm just excited. So you can break all of that down and ask about your relationship with that. So anyway, back to your beautiful Substack magazine. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Claire. I'm an engagement consultant and mentor. I used to work in festivals and events. I now work online, so I work all over the world. I've got over 500 members. I've got over 15,000 readers, and it's been really beautiful to build that space joyfully and sustainably. So all of my work is rooted in joyful, sustainable growth. And by that, I mean whatever that feels like to the person who wants that. So we'll all have a different metric when it comes to what feels joyful, and we'll all have a different metric when it comes to what feels sustainable. So some of us are battling, chronic health conditions, or we're carers for our children or partners. Some of us write on the side outside of our kind of 9 to 5. Other people are all in on Substack and making it their online home. So there's a real range of different people that choose to work with me. I get quite a lot of beginners coming through my programs and they'll hang out. They might do my beginners course. They might hang out in the membership for a year or two. I also get people who come in who are high flyers. They're running really successful businesses and they're like, make Substack work with my ecosystem, Claire. And we do. And it's great. And I adore it. So there's space for everyone. This course is going to take you from quite a chaotic and untethered Substack approach to a beautifully organized and beautifully designed Substack approach where you open your laptop and you know exactly what day it is and exactly what you need to be posting where, and your readers are really ready to receive whatever it is that you've decided to publish for them. So we do some work around curation of your ideas, but also curation of yourself. So there's this real piece with working online where we need to feel safe and we need to work into like, what is that safety? What is the topic? And then as we work within that space, we can find ourselves inspired to share more personally, more vulnerably behind the paywall. There are all of these different dances that we can do to feel like, okay, this is a whole piece that I want to bring to people. So we do that work first, and then we do the organization piece of the Substack, and lastly, we do the design piece. But running throughout it all is our creative inspiration, and that is what I'm so passionate about. And that's why I started by just like showing you what I'd curated from kind of a little wander around my house this afternoon, because that creative inspiration is speaking to us. Those Pinterest boards that we put together that are other people's images and other people's art and other people's words and other people's typefaces, they're really important in our journey of really understanding how we can come and embody what it is that we want to share online. And Substack just is a beautiful platform for that. So because it is this space that is so easy to publish on and relatively easy to grow on, especially if you know the things, like there are some key things that we need to know, then it does just feel a really beautiful thing. I think with what's happened recently, so since I delivered the last course, Substack have invited lots of influencers and creators into the space, and the space has shifted, but you can still curate your own world within Substack's universe. That's totally possible. And I think with that, what I'm seeing is people that haven't quite got the sharpness of explaining what it is that they do and who they're for. They're just blending into the background a bit. And that's what I really want to help you with. So it's okay to be into, let's just pick what I sort of chose at the beginning, slow living. So slow live lifestyle, motherhood, allotment gardening, creativity, well-being. It's all right to be into all of those stuff, but unless all of that stuff has got an identity to hang its hat on, we're just going to blend into the background. So the Beautiful Magazine course is going to take you across 4 weeks. There are tutorials dropped every single Monday, and they're very short. So you could watch a tutorial and take 2 or 3 actions from that one tutorial. So they're between 5 and 10 minutes long. And then we have our live calls, and I've spread them across the time zones. So everybody will be able to come live to at least one during the 4 weeks. All the replays will be posted as well. Those live calls include hot seats. So anything that you're stuck with. So if you've got a word mark that won't work, for example, or if you need us to look at how things are flowing, or if you're not sure whether you're supposed to use sections, tags, pages, how you do your navigation bar, how you might be confusing people. We're going to go through all of that. I've also got a couple of really exciting experts to announce, which I will do really soon, but I just want to make sure that their contracts are in place and all of that good stuff. Um, Everything else will be on this page for you. So if you want to have a read over, if you've got any questions, it's just me at the other end of my emails. I do not have a team answering my emails. It's me. So if you want to have a chat with me, if you're not sure whether it's for you, if you need longer to pay, whatever you need, I'm here for you. There are a couple of bonuses that you get this time round. So you get, oh, I've taken it downstairs. You get the beautiful Substack planner that I've designed. I was looking for last year's. Let me see if I can grab it because I think it is here. Yeah, it is. So I'm a woman of my word. I've taken last year's down to fill it all in, but taken this year's down to fill it all in, but this is last year's. So this is something that I created so that you could map through your Substack process and plan everything out and also celebrate the wins as they come. So you get that free. You can just download that and print that either at home or use a lovely print company. In the UK, I use Docs Direct. And you also get some other goodies as well. Have a little look and see. But this isn't a type of course that throws everything at you. This is a real space holding container. And last time we ran it, everybody was just so like such beautiful souls. Everybody was very supportive of each other's work. Everybody showed up to listen. Everybody learned from each other. And it was just a really, really nice experience. And I feel like closing off the walls of all the madness of some of it's like things not being fair, like the amount of notes I read about what everybody else is doing on Substack or what AI is doing. And I'm like, I know all of that is going on, but we can still make art. Here is mine. Here is Emma Gannon's. We can still make the art and bring it to the people, and we can still gather people around and say, hey, like I've made a thing. I'm really proud of it. Do you want to come and be part of it? So that's what the course is really about. If you're feeling confused about Substack, if you're feeling chaotic on Substack, if you're feeling like you don't know which bit to do first, I'm going to walk you through all of that. We're going to curate your Substack page. We're going to make decisions about curating written posts, audio posts, video posts, illustrations, photographs. We're going to bring it all together in a cohesive design and something that you're really, really proud of. If you don't have a name for your Substack file yet, we're going to do all of that. So I've got you. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. Thanks so much for being here. And like I said, if you've got any questions, I will see you over in my emails. Thanks, guys.